Hello, my name is Dean Warrington, and what we're going to cover today is the bike aspect of pointing using the WizPoints app. To finish off the WizPoints series of videos, I want to show you how to point. The secret to pointing is simple. Find, revise and learn as many points that the examiners use as fast as possible. It's that simple. So what goes wrong for a lot of people? First, you find points no one asks in the hope they will be asked. There are 3,000 points asked more than 20 times each year and 6,000 points asked over a 2-year period. So when you are finding points no one has asked, there are already 3,000 outstanding places that you are yet to learn. Second, you use techniques that diminish your learning rather than help it. By this I mean taking notes. Taking notes on a point has several failings, especially for beginners. First, how do you know what note to take? Or do you just take notes on everything? Second, will your note be clearer and easier to understand than what already exists on the internet, such as Google Street or Apple Street View? Third, taking notes is time consuming, time that would be better spent revising by repetition. There is not a single benefit to taking notes, but there are several drawbacks. Why do people take notes? It's a comfort blanket, but what you would be better off doing is revising correctly. When you take a note, a few things happen. First, if there are lots of notes, you can write them unconsciously. And like reading a book and daydreaming at the same time, you know you read it, but you remember nothing. Second, your brain goes into autopilot. It knows it does not need to remember the information because it's writing it down. So in this instance, taking notes is the complete avoidance of trying to remember. So imagine for a second, you write down a phone number, compared to not writing it down, but attempting to remember it. You will know the moment you have remembered it as you kept repeating it to yourself. The writing is the postponement of trying to remember it. Lastly on this subject, if you do not remember the name of the point and the road it is in, then you literally have nothing. Your first priority is to know the point's name and location. That's it. Everything else is detail to be added as and when you know you need it. Learn the point first. Detail is learnt from point to point. The last mistake made is pointing in postcodes. This is the lazy person's method. You will see less and take longer to do it. Wasted time will reduce your revision time, which will affect the depth to which you learn the points. Just look at this quick example of pointing geographically. I go straight to the point nearest my home. I work my way to an area with a cluster, and I come back a different way, pointing on my way back. It's all organized. Postcodes would miss all of this and still need to be organized in your chosen postcode anyway. If you haven't watched it already, please take a look at the video about how to make a bike list. It will be more in depth on that subject than I will be here. The link should be on the screen now. I'm still going to start at the beginning and quickly make a bike list. I never make more than one bike list. If I make a bike list, I visit those points before I make another. The more points you have in your unknown list, the better the bike list will be. So don't be afraid of the number being high. Let's tap Make a Bike List to create today's list. By default, the time duration slider is set to today. I'm going to change that to 6 months. The more advanced you become, you can then slide up to 1 year or 2 years, but only do this if your unknown list is small. If you tap the search box, you will get a full screen view of your pinning list. Tapping the title will return you to the split screen view. Next, I will make the times asked slider set to 40 if I'm a beginner, or 20 if I'm intermediate, and 5 if I'm advanced. Here in this example, I'm going for 40 times asked. The level selector I leave with all selected. What level a point is asked on is not important because all points are asked pretty much on every level. And if they aren't, you still need to know them for when you get your drop to the next level. What is important is frequency. Now I select New to create my new bike list and select All. Pinned points will appear on the map with a red or green pin. Unpinned have yet to be allocated a pin and are added by the users. To add the pin, first do an internet search for its location, then zoom in on the map to find that location. Tap the screen in the location of the point. A pin will fall to mark the spot. You can re-tap if you're not happy with the location. Then tap the point name you are adding and tap Confirm. This is now added to our central database and updates on all app users' devices once a week. I know I just mentioned don't take notes, but we have made note-taking easier for all those who don't believe me. You can take or view notes for any point on most screens just by long pressing the point. Look for the asterisk here and it will show that the point is carrying a note. The list here is in postcode order for all those who wish to point by postcode, but I'm only going to deal with pointing geographically from the pinned map. If you want to edit your list, you can do so by pressing the Edit button. This will allow you to move points up and down to change the order or remove them from the list and place them back in the unknown list below. I'm now ready to create my list to point from today. So I press the Map button and then the Format button. Adding points to our list here is easy. Just tap the pin and tap the eye. To remove it, you just need to repeat that process. Here's a tip. If you press the Edit button, you will see your written list and can move or remove points here. Now today I don't have much time and I need to be back as soon as possible, so I will stay in East London, then go over Tower Bridge and come back through Blackwall Tunnel. This kind of list could never be done by postcode. Here is where I live and here is the journey I think I will make. I now tap all those pins in the right order to make my list. I can tap Edit to see my list or tap Small Map to return to split screen mode. If you have the Edit button selected, you will not be able to return to the split screen mode. Now press Home. I like to name my bike lists numerically, so my first bike list is number 1 and this new one will be 26. Now we go to View Bike List. Here you can print your list or just go out with your iPad or phone and work straight from that. I will put my iPad straight on my board using heavy duty Velcro. If you need to look at a map to get to your first point, do so, or use the map on the app if you have internet connection. Press the title anytime to return to your list. You can stay in map view to get from one point to the next, but I would not recommend it as you're not looking at the name of the point or its street name. This constant looking at its name will help you with remembering it. When you arrive at your first point, look and think. Just think anything and try to create a memory. If you're still set on taking a note, then just long press the point and add your note. Now tap the large point title to mark the point as done. It will turn grey in the list and the next point will appear. Now make your way to the second point and continue the process until you get to the 5th point. Every 5 points, stop and revise. This part is crucial for generating and creating mental images and reflexes. After the next 5 points, stop and revise all 10. Continue to do this every 5 points until you have completed your day's list. Once you are home, if you can get someone to test you, it is a huge advantage. Give them the app, tap Revise Bike Lists and revise today's list only with them. If you're on your own, then it still has to be done. Now do a threefold revision on any new bike list. First, revise by just saying the answer and tapping correct, sticky or don't know. Then revise by placing the pin on the map using the map test button. When you're testing yourself using the map test button, a few choices come up. If you are nowhere near the location where the pin should be, it will only give you two options, to be sticky or unknown. If you're absolutely spot on, it will give you one option of correct. But if you're close, it will give you three options of sticky, unknown and correct. Then test yourself again by saying the answer rather than doing the map test version. If this has created any sticky points, then go to your sticky list revision and revise those sticky points 5 correct times until the list is empty. Always try to empty the sticky list. Also, try to at least once or twice in this cycle to revise using the map test feature of placing the pin on the map location. This will help with memory of position. I would always try to revise the last 7 days to 1 month's worth of bike lists, at least once a day, all of them. So in the bike list revision screen, just tap the 7-day or 1 month duration and revise. What's relevant here is the amount of points generated. If there's not enough points to revise, I will increase the slider to 6 months and so on. From the home screen, you can now set your duration slider to 6 months, select bike lists, and revise your bike lists here on daily rotation. To finish, here's a question I get a lot. Can you visit the points using Apple or Google Maps? Quite simply, yes. It will be with diminished understanding and feeling, but it's better than not visiting at all. The more advanced you are, the more you can use that technique if you wish. Try to get out whenever you can. Physically visiting the point gives you deeper understanding and memory, but will require time that some of the part-timers and even full-timers just don't have. Remember, call your Blue Book every day. It's your fluency. Do point-to-point every day. It is the fundamental aspect of your testing. That's it for another video. There is some repetition in this video from other videos, but that's necessary to get the point across. Good luck pointing. Point heavy in summer to give you leeway in winter. Take care on the roads and good luck on appearances. Please subscribe and put your comments below.